It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 313. Graham Couch, sports columnist for the Lansing State Journal, and he is co-host of Couch and the Rube, weekday afternoons, 1 to 3, right in front of the Drive with Jack. Had a big weekend. You made it back in time.
I did. Did the whole family thing in Chicago. Mother's 70th birthday. Had a lot of stuff going on. And I think what was an important game for Michigan State, too, and not just that they won, but the way they won.
Your family enjoyed the game. Now, your wife's not a football fan, but everybody else, right?
She had no interest in going. Last time I took her to a Northwestern game, it was I think it was the 2013 game that was colder than hell, and she wanted nothing to do with it, and I don't know if I'll ever get to go back.
A lot to talk about with that game, and we will in just a couple of minutes. Rico Beard joins us, longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. He's a Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he's host of the Spartan Beat. From noon to 1, weekday afternoons on the Spotlight Broadcast Network.
The guy that kicks off the show that they stick around and listen to you guys' show afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. You were also in Ryan Field. You were in the press box there and checking it out. Surprised by what you saw?
I was surprised by what I saw. At first I thought, okay, I've seen this movie before. Let's score on the first play and then make the fans sweat it out for the rest of the game. But then all of a sudden, the defense rose up, the offense scored, and D'Antonio got 110.
You just didn't want double overtime so you'd miss your flight.
That was it, or lightning delay. So that was it. I just wanted that game to be over, nice and boring. Let's get this thing over. Let's do the celebration so I can get the hell out. All about me.
Also want to welcome Darian Harris, 5-year MSU linebacker, co-captain of the 2015 Big Ten champions, Bigby Coffee brand ambassador, regular Thursday contributor to The Drive, and assistant football coach. Wall Lake Western. You had a heck of a game Friday.
Yeah, crazy game. Almost had a perfect football weekend for me. Came up just short against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who doesn't lose often. 38-35 at home. Our starting quarterback, Zach Trenner, got knocked out in the beginning of the second quarter. So played with backup Jonathan Abley, did a great job stepping in, running the Wildcat. Came down in the wire, was standing room only at Wall Lake Western. You know, you love those types of environments for a high school game.
Right.
Doesn't affect our division standings or playoff rankings, so we're looking forward to rolling on with the season.
Wall Lake Western, team you're not going to want to play in the playoffs, I guarantee that. And you know what it's like to win at Northwestern?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
We will talk about that and much more. A lot of Big Ten action, a lot of college football, and we'll deal with that the next 4 segments, beginning with our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet. We'll be right back.
Whoa, I've never seen such perfect glass recycling. It's beautiful.
Here's why.
The sacred list of locally accepted materials.
Do you think they checked with their local recycler about brown, green, and blue glass?
Clearly. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
Every day, there are doors to open and steps to be taken. There are chapters waiting to be written. There are simple things that mean the world. And things so complex, they can change a world. There are decisions to make that make all the difference. And we have a part in all of it, every day.
With MSU-FCU's Visa Signature Card, receive 3% cash back on groceries, 2% cash back on gas, travel, and universities, and 1% cash back on everything else. Open your MSU-FCU Visa Signature Card today.
Hike! Get in the savings zone at Capital Honda with game-winning offers on the new 2019 Honda Civic LX, $189 a month, or new 2019 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive, $269 a month. You should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Whoa, I've never seen such perfect glass recycling. It's beautiful.
Here's why.
The sacred list of locally accepted materials.
Do you think they checked with their local recycler about brown, green, and blue glass?
Clearly. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Team spirit. Face paint. more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 105 years in the automobile business, and Graf Nissan, next door on West Grand River in Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Very proud of our football team in terms of what they were able to accomplish. A lot tighter game than you would think the score would indicate. Got a lot of respect for Northwestern, what they were able to do. But I thought that the turnovers and then be able to capitalize on those, we played pretty well on special teams. I thought we were able to tip to the wind, missed a field goal, I guess, and dropped a punt. But anyway, opportunistic on offense, and then we played relentless on defense. I was very impressed on just our workmanlike attitude today. You know, we just came out and just kept, hey, if something happened negatively, we just lined back up and played. You know, defensively didn't give up any big plays. I think maybe they had one 21-yard run. I'm not sure if they had any passes over 20, but played extremely well on defense, 4 turnovers, and then on offense, sort of workmanlike. You know, when we had opportunities, we did drive the ball, just 1 field goal, but we did drive the ball and we scored touchdowns more often than not.
Between the plays you make on 4th down and the sack that Raekwon had, pretty good day for you guys?
Oh yeah, no, we were celebrating, you know, we were cheering, and all we wanted to do at then was just, you know, walk out with the W.
How much did it mean to make that first stop on 4th down after the fumble?
It was huge, you know. I thought after I made that play, you know, that we could do this. You know, we had the confidence, we got the guys up front, and we just kept talking to each other, and, you know, that's kind of how it went.
Mark D'Antonio and Mike Panasiuk, and for one day at least, Michigan State was Chicago's Big Ten team. Rico Beard, very few people thought the Spartans would score 21 points, let alone 31. How did they do that to snap a 3-game losing streak against the Wildcats and give Mark D'Antonio win 110?
Jack, I don't want to oversimplify this, but I am going to oversimplify this because that's what I do. No penalties, no self-inflicted wounds. Yeah. Starting from that drive right before halftime and when they scored, and then the second half, they cut down on all the silly things that always keeps holding them back, whether it's drop passes, holding penalties, things like that. They got focused, and you could see the momentum start to roll. Okay, now they started believing in themselves, and I don't know where Siebert came from, but hey, welcome to the team. I like this guy now. I mean, he went from, who is that, to throw the ball to 80. He's pretty good. So, yeah, I think that what you saw was a team, they just kind of focused and they cut out the silly penalties.
Darian, as efficiently as the offense played, how important were 3 takeaways, interceptions by the defense, and a critical 4th down stop by Big Mike? Josiah Scott with that toe tap interception that set up the last scoring drive of the first half. Made a lot of plays happen with the defense.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, this team is still going to go as the defense takes them. You know, as we were saying, if you just give this defense at least 21 points, I mean, they're going to take you to the promised land. It was the question of, can this offense give you 21 points a game? And it would seem that they're going on a trajectory now that that's going to be possible week in and week out. But, you know, again, you look at that 4th down stop right there, that comes after a special teams snafu that could have been costly. But, again, when you have a defense like that, that's top 3 in the nation, top to bottom, they can make plays like that. They can bail you out of those situations. And again, as long as the offense can give you at least 3 touchdowns a game, you can hang in there with anybody.
The only guy happier than those defensive players was Cody White.
Yeah.
After fumbling that punt on a return, putting it behind his back, and he said, "Oh, that's just great. Thank you, guys."
That's what I mean. It was those little things like that was holding them back in that first half.
Yeah. Graham, when you think about Mark D'Antonio now and everything that happened during the week, all the criticism on and off the field, the Curtis Blackwell situation. How did the players tune out all the noise and do what they had to do?
Well, some of it is, I don't think the players care as much about that stuff. I think players focus more than we think. And I think this is what Michigan State's program has done well under Mark D'Antonio. They bounce back, they rally.
Very good record after a loss.
The question is now what they do when there is success. And what I think was important is there was obvious growth. There was growth offensively. There were things. Now, there are some others. You had 4 straight 3-and-outs. Or sorry, 4 straight punts, three of those 3-and-outs. There are things still within that. Like you do that at Madison, you do that in Columbus.
Yeah.
You got a big problem. You're going to be playing from behind probably. But as Darian said, also you find again that the defense, that stand at the goal line, that's something you can rely on. It doesn't matter what's going on off the field during a week. The defense has been there for several years, giving them that, and that changed the tone of the game. I mean, I think they were better than Northwestern to begin with, but that changed the tone of the game.
Darian, the season, the program, not dead yet, despite what a lot of people were thinking. But does this defense translate? Does it travel when they go to Columbus and Madison?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't see that as an issue, especially if you think about Madison and you think about who they have up front of their offensive line. They just reload up there and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. I think it can make it a challenging day for him. You know, he's going to have 20, 25, 30 carries to get to that 100-yard mark. And he may get there. I don't think he'll get there, but he might get there. But, again, the defense is definitely going to travel. The offense has to come with it.
See, I'm looking forward to that game more than any game in a long time. When you talk about strength against strength, I want to see that.
Darian Harris was part of the team in 2012 that ended the Badgers' home winning streak as a redshirt freshman. We'll be right back talking Michigan up next.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
It's inventory reduction time at a Graf dealership near you. And the savings have never been better. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a 2019 Chevrolet, the time is now and Graf is the place.
Get below GM employee pricing on a new Trax, just $167 per month. A new Equinox, just $199 per month. Or get a Silverado Crew Cab, just $179 per month.
It's the inventory reduction sale at a Graf dealership near you. Dad, we're supposed to shrink the prices, not the size of the cars.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango. And Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
Whether your insurance need is for business, farm and agriculture, or protecting your home and auto, experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
When water won't go down, we're the best in town. Veteran Sewer and Drain Cleaning has all the tools and experience to fix your drain problem. Serving Lansing since 1950, Veteran Sewer and Drain Cleaning provides quality service at a reasonable price. If it carries water away, we can fix it. Call Veteran Sewer and Drain Cleaning and tell your drain problems goodbye.
Lunch is the perfect destination for birthday parties, fundraisers, corporate events, bachelorette parties, college groups, field trips, youth groups, overnight events, sports teams, and so much more. Jump on over and get ready for the best event ever. Follow us at Launch Lansing for updates or call us for more information.
At Lansing's 1-800-GOT-JUNK, we can remove items from anywhere in your home or business.
Like attics and basements or backyards, even crawl spaces.
Don't lift a finger. Call us today. We'll be there today.
Lansing's 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make junk disappear.
Yeah, I thought, Wisconsin had a great game plan, executed it extremely well. Outplayed us offensively and defensively. Things they did really well, we were unable to do in terms of establishing a running game having the play action come off of that. They blocked better, they tackled better. They had a better plan and executed it extremely well today.
Jim Harbaugh taking some time out from coaching and the commercials. And look at this score. Fox put this up there at the end of the game, 35-20. I know Michigan needed all the points it could get yesterday, but only got 2 touchdowns. Correct score on that is 35-14. Darian, how shocked were you that Wisconsin scored at will, led 28-0 at the half, and then scored again, made it 35-zip, and completely owned the Wolverines?
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked at the score to begin the game. I wasn't necessarily shocked with how they did it. I knew that Wisconsin was going to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage and be able to run the football. I mean, Jonathan Taylor and what he's able to do goes without saying, but it's that offensive line of Wisconsin. If you're a top O-lineman in the country, you want to go play at Wisconsin. I mean, they're like Oklahoma. They just churn out NFL linemen. And when you look at Michigan's defense, they graduated so many guys at each of the 3 levels of defense from the D-line all the way back that you saw them struggle. The linebackers couldn't make the plays. They couldn't get off the blocks. You don't have Devin Bush right now at that second level to be able to go sideline to sideline and make plays, and it showed.
Jonathan Taylor, and here you see Jack Cohn on a scramble, a Lewerke-like dive into the end zone. They made U of M look like U of D no mercy here, and just powering the ball into the end zone. It was amazing, guys, how much the line of scrimmage moved. Yeah. It was a vintage Wisconsin effort.
Can we end the Don Brown love? Finally, please. This man's defense does nothing against good teams. Yeah. All right, I'm done.
While we're talking about Michigan coordinators, Graham, what about Josh Gaddis, who was all set to revolutionize college football and give the Wolverines their first Big Ten title since 2004? I'm not seeing it, and I'm wondering if it's just more Harbaugh.
I still think Gaddis is going to be a great coach throughout time. I thought he was a good hire and all that stuff, and they may have had too much to chew in the first week when they ran a bazillion plays against Middle Tennessee. I think it's quarterbacks play, and you can't run the football, bad offensive line play. And it's amazing how every offense looks bad when you don't have the quarterback and you don't have the offensive line. And Shea Patterson, I know he's been hurt, he's been beat up. That's just not the answer. It's pretty clear at this point. And maybe McCaffrey is if he's healthy. But the other thing is they thought this offensive line was finally going to be a strength, and it hasn't been. And there's just, we've seen that in East Lansing. When that's a real debilitating, limiting problem, it's hard to overcome.
Josh Gaddis got very good marks at Penn State when he was there as a receivers coach. If he had been the greatest thing since sliced bread at Alabama, something tells me Nick Saban may have wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
Apparently no interest in doing that. And if it was Josh Gaddis' call to give Ben Mason the ball, right? The guy doesn't have a carry, and you saw what happened with the fumble at the 5-yard line. Michigan's first possession, and it looks like they're going to go right down the field, score, and tie it up. That did not happen.
No, I think that I see no speed or in space. No, that's not a Gaddis call.
Yeah. No. Well, that's the thing. The speed and the space, Graham, it may be there, but it's not there now.
No, yeah, you're right. A lot of inside handoffs. The inside handoff that they run continuously is sort of like the jet sweep that Michigan State runs for -8 yards and did against Northwestern. I mean, yeah, there is some stuff that doesn't look like what we thought we were going to see. No question.
Rico, remember when we had all this talk of a Supreme Court-like lifetime contracts for Jimmy Come Home, right? We got that whole thing.
I remember that.
Not hearing that now. Hearing a lot of people upset. How much grumbling do you think this is going to get, the Venom? And what will a big win over Rutgers do next week?
Big win over Rutgers. For some of the fans, it will make them feel good about themselves, but no. Jimmy, nah.
We'll be right back. We're going to talk about the rest of the Big Ten coming up in the big picture.
Style, innovation, luxury. Cadillac is back. ShaheenCadillac.com.
We're proud to be Lansing's new Cadillac dealer. Cadillac is back. ShaheenCadillac.com.
Here.
Innovation, luxury. Cadillac is back. ShaheenCadillac.com.
We're proud to be Lansing's new Cadillac dealer. Cadillac is back. ShaheenCadillac.com.
Nobody can beat us. The final season of Empire, Tuesday on Fox.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin to the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were last month for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
And now going deep, Fields into the hands of KJ. Fields this time using his legs, cutting inside into the end zone. Fields is going to keep it, and he's got his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon. North and south, he is explosive. This time, bootlegging out, throwing it for the end zone, touchdown. Ohio State yet to convert today on third down. Fields going for it all. Got it. Did he get down in bounds? Yes. 16 yards on the last play, this time for the end zone. A touchdown to Chris Olave.
Wow. Michigan State has that to look forward to in 2 weeks. Graham Couch, Chuck Martin might have had my favorite quote of the year, talking about what it's like to prepare for Ohio State. He says, it's like recess when they get the first 85 picks. And when you saw what Ohio State did, a prohibitive favorite, and then Justin Fields has 6 touchdowns in 1 quarter.
Yeah, I love the quote from an entertainment value, but I hate what the message it sends to his team. Like, I mean, everybody knows that's the truth. Just don't tell your team you would have picked the other team. You know, you would have picked the other guys. It's quirky, it's funny, it's Tim Miles-ish, but it's not the quote you give right there. What was impressive to me about Ohio State is they do look focused. Like, that's a mismatch. That's a day where you can sleepwalk through an afternoon game, and they didn't do that. And now, again, as we were mentioning in the previous segment, they have not been hit in the mouth yet. No. And let's see what happens when they play somebody who can hit them back. And that's what Michigan State's going to have the opportunity to be the first team to do. I love Michigan State's schedule, the way it sets up the whole way through, the crescendo all the way in. And now, look, Columbus and Madison back-to-back weeks. Nobody in the country has a tougher duo than that.
No one expects Michigan State to win either of those games.
No, but
outside of East Lansing.
But to get Ohio State before somebody else is able to test them, I think is not a bad deal.
Darian, you had a chance to hit Ohio State in the mouth, and I think Ezekiel Elliott still got a swollen lip from what you did in 2015. When a team doesn't expect what you can do, especially on defense, What difference does that make?
I think it makes a huge difference, and that's kind of what you have to do going against an Ohio State team that's running, they've always run the same offense, but with Justin Fields back there, they're back to running that similar offense that they ran with J.T. Barrett, with a quarterback that's mobile, which I think provides a lot harder ability to stop it for a defense. What they had with Dwayne Haskins obviously worked extremely well, but it was pretty one-dimensional for the quarterback. You knew he was throwing the ball. Right. When you have two dimensions for the quarterback, it's tough. But I agree. I think that Michigan State being the first team that's going to actually test Ohio State will bode well. Justin Fields is still a young quarterback. This is still his first full-time year starting, and he hasn't seen a defense necessarily ever like Michigan State's.
Rico Beer, this season is a long way from over, but what might the betting line be if Ohio State and Wisconsin met next Saturday night in Lucas Oil Stadium?
Probably the Buckeyes would be favored like 6.5, 7 points. I think they would get they would be favored for that.
Graham, you know a little bit about this stuff. Are you buying that line?
It might be a little less than that. If it was 6.5, I'd take the Badgers, no question.
And I just think that the Buckeyes, coming off such a dominant performance, the way that they did, Iowa, just as dominant against Michigan, I think that one actually may hold a little more juice to the Vegas people, because it's like, okay, you did something, whereas Ohio State, you had the first 85 picks.
That whole division, if I'm the West right now, I'm like, hey, how about realignment the other way? They may have the best two teams by the time it's all said and done with Iowa and Wisconsin.
Got a big game in the East Friday night coming up. It's Penn State at Maryland. People in College Park be geeked for that one?
I think so. I think that's what Maryland is missing right now as they continue to really get ingrained into the Big Ten. It's just having that full-time crowd atmosphere that we see at so many Big Ten arenas. But I think you'll get that with the Maryland-Penn State game, just because not only athletes, but just students from high school going to college, whether it's UMD or Penn State, a lot of people just from the Maryland DMV area will go to Penn State for school. So I think you're going to have a lot of situations where there's going to be a lot of bets between friends and high school teammates and things like that. And people will travel from Penn State down the road to the game.
Would high school football cut into that crowd, though?
It probably will. It probably will as well, especially in the Maryland area, again, with such great ball
probably
that we have.
Probably a big Penn State crowd there, too.
I think there's going to be a big Penn State crowd, which will help fill it out.
It took 690 yards of offense for Nebraska to rally and get past Illinois 42-38, and waiting for Ohio State to come to Lincoln. Now with ESPN College Game Day. Any chance that Nebraska can give? No.
Next segment.
Thought I'd throw that out there, ladies and gentlemen.
No, the black shirt defense is still non-existent. I don't know.
The West is two teams. It's Wisconsin, it's Iowa, and Iowa has a brutal schedule there, but it's those two.
Everybody hyped Nebraska just like they hyped Michigan.
All right, we will be back, and we're going to talk about the rest of college football, including Georgia over Notre Dame. Up next.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
It's inventory reduction time at a Graf dealership near you. And the savings have never been better. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a 2019 Chevrolet, the time is now, and Graf is the place.
Get below GM employee pricing on a new Trax, just $167 per month. A new Equinox, just $199 per month. Or get a Silverado Crew Cab, just $179 per month.
It's the inventory reduction sale at a Graf dealership near you. Dad, we're supposed to shrink the prices, not the size of the cars.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Download the Fox 47 News app, available for iOS and Android.
Lunch is the perfect destination for birthday parties, fundraisers, corporate events, bachelorette parties, college groups, field trips, youth groups, overnight events, sports teams, and so much more. Jump on over and get ready for the best event ever. Follow us at Launch Lansing for updates or call us for more information.
Hi, I'm Claire Cameron with this week's Fairs, Festivals, and Fun on Fox. Be part of history in the making when Portland hosts their 150th birthday celebration. Fun begins September 20th and runs through the 22nd. There will be fun for the whole family, including a petting zoo, antique roadshow, walking tours, classic car cruise parade, arts and craft fair, fireworks, and so much more. For more information, visit portland150.org.
Think about the number of people your child crosses paths with over the course of a single school day. Ordinary people going above and beyond to help children learn. Watch Fox 47 News at 6:30 on Tuesday to find out this week's Excellence in Education winner.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Forest Acres Golf Courses and Golf MSU. With a wide variety of challenges on the east and west layouts, a terrific 12-month practice facility, and a pro shop with something for every Spartan, Acres is always a grade A facility. Go to golf.msu.edu for great fall specials. One of the best times to play a championship course.
Book fakes the throw, in trouble, to the back of the end zone, caught by Clement for the touchdown.
The illegal procedure penalty was the only negative play.
DeAndre Swift to the end zone, touchdown Georgia.
Called that third look.
All on blitz, Fromm lets it fly, back shoulder, KJ, touchdown. Ian Book, blitz coming, throws to the corner, Claypool, touchdown. This is the ball game if Notre Dame doesn't get a first down. Book's in trouble. Giving chase, he's just going to lay it up in the middle of the field, and it's knocked down by Georgia.
There you see last night, game eagerly awaited, and Georgia gets the win, 6 points. Rico Beard, Bulldogs won the game, but Notre Dame won a lot of respect.
They did.
As a decided underdog. You think Georgia can win the SEC, and is there any chance Notre Dame could still make the college playoff if it runs the table?
Well, what Notre Dame's loss did was it left the door open for the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. Notre Dame's not going to lose another game this year. The rest of their schedule looks great on paper, but the teams are not that good.
They have to play in Ann Arbor.
And Notre Dame is not going to lose again this year.
Virginia is the one game this
Notre
week.
Dame is not going to lose again this year. Okay? We're done with that? Okay. But it left the door open. They're going to finish 11-1. No conference championship game. Now, if you're in Ohio State and you stub your toe, if you're Wisconsin, you stub your toe. Heck, if Michigan State runs the table, you have an argument against Notre Dame. If Notre Dame would have won and gone 12-0 and knocked off Georgia, no shot. They're taking that spot. Because the SEC will probably send 2 teams. And now you're looking at Clemson, they're playing nobody. And then Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and all those other teams are for that last spot.
Graham?
I'll say this. If Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa are what I think they are, and the Big Ten doesn't get a playoff team, then you just sit out the bowl game. You refuse to play football until the thing goes to eight teams in the playoff, and you've got an automatic conference champion in, because then you're starting to just make a mockery of the whole damn thing.
Well, let me give you a scenario. I can't do it because Rico already said that I'm not going to lose again. But if you had a situation, and let's say Michigan somehow beat Ohio State at the end of the season, and then Ohio State went on and won the Big Ten championship. But had that loss to Michigan and Notre Dame comes into Ann Arbor and rolls the Wolverines by 21 points.
But it doesn't have to be an either or with the Big Ten and Notre Dame. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Notre Dame's out of it. They went down to Athens. Props to them for doing it. They were competitive. Georgia's not any better than Notre Dame. You can't look at Georgia after winning by that little amount and say that's the better club. Yeah, they won the game. But if Notre Dame goes 11-1, they can be in, but so can a Big Ten team. And the beauty of the Big Ten this year is because the West has those 2 teams on the other side.
Right.
That Big Ten championship game, whoever wins that, obviously if you beat Ohio State, that's going to look good, or you beat whoever comes out of the East. But if you beat Wisconsin, that's going to come with some teeth.
Graham, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma in. Notre Dame is fine with the other SEC teams.
I'm not sure Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
I'm not sure Oklahoma doesn't get. Somebody might get Oklahoma at some point.
Okay.
A lot of things can happen. I mean, think about Eastern Michigan And not only do they get the big win at Illinois, but
is this game played in the 50s?
Stunning game here against Central Connecticut State. Matthew Sexton gets the block and the score. Darian Harris, I think I've seen another game and ending very much like this in Washtenaw County.
Yeah, it's phenomenal how these things keep happening, and it was a little bit of a different scenario. They didn't leave the gunners outside, at least, and so I don't know if I can necessarily call it a coaching snafu. There's 18 seconds on the clock, not 10. It would be kind of difficult to hike it, catch it, and run around for 18 seconds. But it's going to make the rest of the country once again over practice this scenario. Yeah. I think it happened obviously after what happened in 15 in Ann Arbor. This scenario happening again now, where you look on paper and say, how this is not a coaching snafu. We lined up and made a play. Is going to once again have coaches across America at all levels overcoaching this scenario, because don't you just tell the punter,
like, I don't care if the punt goes 23 yards. Like you gotta kick that quick if you have to.
You do. Yeah. Which is what's going to be overcoached.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The worst case scenario, you could spike the ball. You could throw an incomplete pass.
Yeah. Why not just run backwards to the other team's goal and just baseball slide?
Right. You would think. But up 1 and 18 seconds. I think there's a lot of variables going on. It's a lot for a punter. No disrespect to think about in that moment. It's not a quarterback that's used to making split-second decisions. It's like as a punter, you got to make a split-second decision.
Especially if it's like Blake O'Neal, you don't get coached.
Right.
This is
true too.
Else too. Graham, if you look at the top 25, which team did itself the most good, and which one took a plunge without a parachute?
Wisconsin did itself the most good, without question. I think they changed how they're thought of nationally, moving up to 5 from 13. And Michigan, the fact they're in the top 25 is absurd, but that is a game, that's a program loss right there.
Washington State took a big pratfall too. We'll talk about that later. We'll be right back on Press Pass.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Don't put off till next weekend what you can enjoy doing today. With the affordable John Deere 3E Series, you can handle any job on your property and turn that chore list from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Nothing runs like a Deere.
Ladies, don't let the guys have all the fun. Get your tractor at D&G Equipment in Mason, Williamston, Corunna, Howell, Highland, Charlotte, and Rise Junction.
Hey, we're 10th Avenue North.
And they're coming to town with their No Shame Fall Tour. With special guest, Austin French. The No Shame Fall Tour with 10th Avenue North and Austin French.
Tickets are on sale now at the Potter Center box office or online at jccmi.edu/Potter Center.
Nashville Insider, Saturday night at 11 on My 47.4.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin to the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff on Trowbridge, or find Woody's favorites at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and all across MSU's campus.
Jamal Agnew was benched a week ago in the win over the Chargers, but back in there today, a dangerous return man is Agnew, and he's across midfield, and he might take this one all the way. He will take it all the way. Jamal Agnew, 100. Schwartz, a former head coach of these Detroit Lions, and the catch made by Marvin Jones. First down. Stafford throws to the corner, catches made. And they hand it to Johnson, up and over the top and into the end zone. Times in this case you did not. It would have been a huge gain. And coming the other way is McKissick. First time he's touched the football today. And he's inside the 20, inside the 10, and run out of Eagles with all 3 timeouts. A catch, and was it a fumble by Aguilar? Picked up and racing the other way is Darren. They've been inside the red zone. Only 1 touchdown. And make it a second touchdown. What a beautiful throw by Stafford to Marvin Jones Jr.
The Detroit Lions with a lot of explosive plays today. They did just enough for a 27-24 win in Philadelphia. Want to welcome in Doug Warren, our NFL historian and Detroit Lions expert. And Doug, they say it's better to be lucky than good. The Lions today, a little bit of both, taking full advantage of 7 drop passes by the Eagles and 3 offensive pass interference penalties. How important were those gifts in the Lions being 2-0-1?
Very important. Like you said, the Lions offense had explosive plays and the Eagles had explosive penalties that hurt them in key moments. A couple big turnovers too for the Lions defense again today. I'm not sure where they are plus minus wise on the season, but that was something they didn't do well last year. If they're ahead of the game on the turnover margin this year, that's going a long way to help them. But 2 big fumble recoveries today by Darius Slay and A'Shawn Robinson, timely plays. Matthew Stafford spreading the ball around to his stars, making big plays. And it's good to see Jamal Agnew back with a 100-yard kick return after struggling early this season and being out for most of last year with an injury.
You talk about spreading the ball around, Doug. Marvin Jones today, that is the 3rd different receiver who's caught 100 yards in passes from Stafford, and that shows that he's not zeroing in on one guy.
Yeah, and I think that's a sign of things to come with Darrell Bevell's offense after Stafford's being upset in that Week 1 game where yelling, "Trust me," on the sideline to everybody. Bevel and him seem to be developing a bit of a chemistry. If you have a play caller interacting good with the quarterback and putting them in positions to win, that's usually good things for the offense. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. They're going to have a tough game next week against Kansas City, then a bye, then they get into the NFC North schedule against a team that I didn't think was going to be this good. They look good so far, Green Bay, being at Lambeau on Monday night, and then they follow that up with a game against the Vikings.
Normally reliable Matt Prater had a kick blocked in the last couple of minutes. If not for that, if it hadn't been for the penalty, the block in the back on the block kick return, Eagles were already deep in Lions territory. You think they might have won the game 31-27 or at least taken it into overtime?
It probably would have at least went into overtime. But that was a big momentum swing. A key penalty like that swung the game back to the Lions' favor, and they took advantage of it. So the Lions have been lucky, like you say, but oftentimes good teams take advantage of the luck that's offered them. The Lions have a lot of growing to do, but they're still undefeated, so they have that going.
As we take a look at today's scores results thus far this week, anything jump out to you, Doug? Anybody else here on the panel? Is there a score you say, what?
The Dolphins kind of hanging around today, playing like a real NFL team, even though they lost. They played a little bit better. The team that surprised me so far is Green Bay. I didn't think they'd be this good. To be 3-0 and have the defense playing as well as they are, that's a bit of a surprise. A couple other teams that are 3-0 too that are surprises. And the Steelers being 0-3, even with all the changes, that's a surprise that the Steelers are winless thus far.
How about the late touchdown for the Giants?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Coming back. Looked like they were out of it. And suddenly...
No Saquon Barkley. They lost him with an ankle injury. He's on crutches. Daniel Jones makes the big play. Got lucky. The Bucks shanked the kick at the end. But
you see the same thing in Carolina, though, where you get a big-name quarterback who's hurt or wasn't playing well, and all of a sudden another guy comes in and they win big.
Doug, if you take a look at the NFC North standings, what jumps out to you?
Well, Green Bay being at top right now, 3-0. I guess you'd have to say the Lions being undefeated so far is a surprise.
Could easily be 0-3.
Yeah, well, beating playoff teams last year in San Diego and today beating the Eagles, that's a plus for the Lions. That was something most of us didn't expect.
And how about a shout out to Rico's San Francisco 49ers? I know you're frustrated that they didn't play perfect football today, but
they won.
They won.
A win's a win. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, but never confuse good with luck. So I'll just leave it at that.
We will be back in just a minute, and we're going to have our Take It to the Bank segment. Antonio Brown up next on Press Pass.
For the best prices and most knowledgeable staff, shop at H2O Hydroponics.
Dry ice pellets, 50 cents per pound.
Beverage grade CO2, priced right for you.
And we have 24 and 100-pound butane tanks in stock.
Remember, if you're going to grow, go H2O.
Lunch is the perfect destination for birthday parties, fundraisers, corporate events, bachelorette parties, college groups, field trips, youth groups, overnight events, sports teams, and so much more. Jump on over and get ready for the best event ever. Follow us at Launch Lansing for updates or call us for more information.
Adding a Napoleon fireplace to your home can turn an ordinary room into a relaxing place where memories are made. Young Brothers in Daly on Michigan Avenue has a showroom filled with beautiful ideas and has been serving the Lansing area for over 125 years.
For the best prices and the largest inventory, shop at H2O Hydroponics.
Complete commercial and recreational lighting systems.
Single and mini split air conditioners in stock.
For the best selection of growing media and nutrients, see us today.
Remember, if you're going to grow, go H2O.
Profit over patience is a different kind of battlefield.
The Resident, Tuesday on Fox.
It's inventory reduction time at a Graf dealership near you. And the savings have never been better. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a 2019 Chevrolet, the time is now and Graf is the place.
Get below GM employee pricing on a new Trax, just $167 per month. A new Equinox, just $199 per month. Or get a Silverado Crew Cab, just $179 per month.
It's the inventory reduction sale at a Graf dealership near you. Dad, we're supposed to shrink the prices, not the size of the cars.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
They say you can never predict the weather in mid-Michigan, but that hasn't stopped Fox 47 from guaranteeing it.
Fox 47 is proud to be the only station in mid-Michigan with a weather guarantee.
Every time we get our forecast right, Fox 47 makes a donation to a local charity. Get it wrong, and we double it.
Trips Collision Center is proud to match Fox 47's 3-degree guarantee donation, benefiting weekend survival kits, giving hope to hungry kids right here in mid-Michigan.
The 3-degree guarantee, only on Fox 47 News.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank. Dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Hello, Twitter world. Well, it's complete. I lost Andrew Luck in 20 minutes after drafting him. Breeze is hurt, so that's going to hurt my 2 of my receivers, Michael Thomas and Cook. And now today, finally, New England releases Antonio Brown. I guess you could say you saw it coming. I almost texted Antonio a week ago. I want to give him a little bit of advice that some of the greatest legal minds in America gave me. They told me that when you're in a civil or criminal litigation and you're the person they're coming after, the best thing you can do is say nothing, be quiet, essentially shut up. And if his lawyer didn't give him that advice, he should sue that lawyer. Evidently he didn't. In any event, I don't have to worry about that anymore. He's gone. I wish I would have sent him that text a week ago. I'm just saying, take care.
Alrighty, that's advice from the T. And Darian Harris, if you had been in Antonio Brown's situation, which you never, ever, ever would get close to being, is there anyone in the world you'd be less likely to take advice from than O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, no chance. I mean, he's got to be at the bottom of that list. And the whole situation is just sad, honestly. And it's a culmination of the fact that the world has taught us that if you have that talent, if you have that ability, you essentially can act and behave in any manner that you want because you still will be hired, you still will have a job. And as much as he talks about not being in the NFL ever again, he'll be on a team again. That's just the way the world works.
Entitlement and immunity, and we've seen it
Doesn't
before.
matter.
Probably see it again. Graham, why would anyone in Brown's situation be so dumb as to send intimidating messages to an accuser?
Well, I think there are a couple things. One, I don't know that he's 100% right up here. I don't know the man. But
CTE in play?
Well, I don't. That's something we start throwing around. That seems like an excuse right here. There are some people in this world just aren't good eggs.
You've
you know
seen
what I mean?
that hit, right, where he had the concussion and got scrambled a little bit?
I just think it's entitlement. I agree with Graham. I don't think it's CTE. I think we blame that for a lot. I just think it's entitlement.
And that's the thing. You're right. So much of your life, things are just given to you, and things are easy, and people let you get away with everything. And when that happens, you wind up thinking you're invincible, and you don't want to lose it, and you're willing to go after people, and you think, and if he gets another chance, he's going to be right in some ways, and that's the thing about it.
Rico, any sympathy at all for AB with the $70 million he has made? Will he ever make another dime as an NFL player or a spokesperson? If you had one question to ask Antonio Brown, what would it be?
Well, if I had one question, it actually wouldn't be for Antonio Brown. It would be for somebody who knew him back when he had nothing. Because money doesn't make you, it enhances who you are. And I got a feeling he was like this when he was just up and coming, and now he just has money, and now he can be this jerk of a guy. No, I don't think he will ever play again. I don't have any sympathy for him. You somehow finagled your way onto the New England Patriots, and you managed to screw that up. Right. New England is Teflon. They're the only team that can take a chance on him. And if New England cuts you loose, there's not a team in the NFL that's going to take a chance on them.
Tom Brady offered him a chance to live at his house. I mean,
not this year. Let's see the way the lawsuits play out and all that stuff. I mean, there's a chance. These aren't criminal cases. A year from now, and the way the NFL works.
New England knows. New England will take the destitute. They're like the Statue of Liberty. Give me everybody, and I'll take
a team thinks they're a receiver away. You know, Seattle needs them. You know?
I agree with Darian and Graham. I don't think this year.
T.O. never came back.
They'll revisit it. We'll be right back in just a minute. Cool and smooth.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin to the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
It's America's favorite guessing game, The Masked Singer, 2-hour premiere Wednesday on Fox.
Welcome everyone to the epicenter. Come on in. The role of the modern day church is absolutely critical because it fills a void in our community that no other institution can. No matter what your issues or questions in life, I want you to email me at thelovedoctor517@gmail.com and you'll get your answers during our Love Doctor Bounce Back TV segments. I'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. Here you see a celebration. Oh, whoa, celebration.
That's
what
for
he wants
taking my
that pass
girl
back. Yeah, that's for scoring a touchdown. Take that. You see why Rutgers is 1 and 2. Right?
I think there was something more to that. Like, hey, pay me back my money.
All right, Team 313, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week, I got to give it to the hometown guy, and Mike Panashuk, shooting the gap on that 4th down play and just grabbing the quarterback, Hunter Johnson's leg, never letting the play start. I mean, hometown kid came home and did it. You know he was feeling good. I also, if I could, a second play Friday night, Tulane, the fake victory formation. I had never seen that before, and I'm quite sure there are a lot of offensive coordinators, especially, let's put this in the playbook.
It's like the first time Dan Marino faked the spike against the Jets.
Threw it out to market. Yeah. No truth to the rumor that Panashuk actually tripped him up with his beard. A lot of people had wondered about that. Graham Couch, what about our game of the week?
It's got to be Wisconsin, Michigan. I mean, look, that game reshaped how we think about certain teams in the Big Ten. Wisconsin and Michigan. It's going to take Michigan may be really bad. It may take that program a while to get over. Their fans are ready to jump off the Jim Harbaugh bandwagon. There is no game yet in college football that has been more impactful than that one yet.
I think you're going to be dealing with that one for a long time, especially in Ann Arbor. Darian Harris, what about our team of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I could be a homer, but we've talked a ton about Michigan State, and obviously congrats to Coach D'Antonio on 110. But I'm going to go with the New York Giants front office, just from believing what nobody else was saying, taking their guy, Daniel Jones. You know, I have no horse in the race, so I just want to sit back and just see what happens. You know, he showed he might be the guy in preseason. He showed, obviously, today with a huge win over the Bucs. If he's the guy, there's going to be a lot of people in that front office that are saying, I told you so.
His first start, he doesn't have Saquon for most of the game, 336 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and then he runs for the winning score, and now everyone is calling him Danny Dimes in New York, and all those people who were booing and couldn't stand the pick, and we'll talk about that.
But that's New York sports. They did the same thing with Puerto
But
Rico.
let's wait until people get him on film. Yeah.
Player of the week. I have to go back to that game that ended at 2:30 last night. UCLA.
You were up, I know.
0-3 UCLA, and they're going against 3-0 Washington State. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 551 yards and 5 touchdowns passing, another 57 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. They scored 50 points in the second half, overcame a 32-point lead. They scored twice as many points in the second half as they'd scored in the first 3 games for Chip Kelly. You have to feel a little bit sorry for Anthony Gordon, the quarterback for the Cougars. He threw 9 touchdown passes and lost.
Yeah, that's one of those things that...
Numbers do lie sometimes.
Jack, you got treated for staying up that late. I woke up in the middle of the night, I left the TV on, and I'm wondering, what are they talking about? Like, is this a classic game? Like, wait, UCLA won?
Yeah.
I love when brands play out. They call it the Pac-12 After Dark, and that is classic Pac-12 After Dark.
Well, while they're at it, Pac-12 referees need to learn how to make a call. Ask Ole Miss about what happened in that game against Cal. Blew another last-second call.
Can we get the Pac-10 supervisor of officials on one of our shows? Would that work? That would be entertaining, I think.
I would never let him come in my stadium. Seriously, that's how bad it was.
I want to thank Graham Couch, sports columnist for the Lansing State Journal. You catch him on Couch and the Rube. Rico Beard, it's the Spartan Beat, weekdays from noon to 1. And I guess we'll be at Spartan Stadium this week, and then we'll all be in Columbus after that, right? That's the plan. And Darian Harris. Darian, maybe Michigan State can do something in Columbus the way they did in 2015. Good luck to Walled Lake Western. We will be back next week, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us after the Emmys. Have a great week.